Yo, what's going on? I'm back, man. This is part 3. All right, let's just go ahead and jump right in, man. We're going to start with number 32 right here. All right, actually, we're going to start with number 31. All right, let's jump in. All right, it says right here, man, solve each quadratic equation. You may use any method you would like solving, all right, by factoring, completing a square, quadratic formula, or solving using square roots. Okay, show all your work. So here we go, man. Oops, I went too far. Here we go. For this one, man, I think I can go ahead and just factor this one. Two values that multiply to give me 15, but add to give me 8. And we're going to go x plus 5 equals 0. All right, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, y'all. X plus 5, x plus 3. All right. Now, I set both of those factors equal to 0. So now when we solve this, minus 5 on both sides. So you got x equals negative 5. Now, what you have right here is x plus 3 equals 0. So that's the other factor. We subtract 3 on both sides. So x equals negative 3. All right, there you go. Now, right here, what two factors will multiply to give me negative 12, but I had to give me negative 4. I'm going to go x minus 6 times x plus 2. All right, so then we take our two factors, set them equal to 0, and here we're going to add 6 on both sides. So that's x equals 6. Over here, you have x plus 2 equals 0. You subtract 2, you get x equals negative 2. Okay. Now, right here, I think let's start by taking out the GCF. I take out a 2. I'm left with x squared minus x minus 12. So now, can we factor this? Yeah, we can. We have 2 times x minus 4 and x plus 3. All right, because negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. So now we just set the factors equal to 0. Solve it. There we go. All right, there we go right there. Okay. Alrighty. Right here. Let's see. Can I factor out a GCF again? Yup, 3. So you have x squared plus 8x minus 2. All right. Now with this one, man, we're going to have to use the quadratic. All right. We're going to use the quadratic right there. So here we go. Negative b, or excuse me, negative b in this case is 8. Negative b plus or minus the square root of 8 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, negative 2, all over 2 times a, which is 1. When we do that, we got 64. All right, 64 minus 64 plus 8. That's 8 right there. So 64 plus 8. So you have negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 64 plus 8 all over 2. And then 64 plus 8 is going to be 72. All right, so 72. So you have negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 72 all over 2. All right. Now, we got to factor this. All right, so that's 36 times 2. All right. 36 times 2. All right, times negative 1. Oh, no, it's not negative, so never mind, no negative 1 right there. All right, all over 2. And now, the square root of 36 is 6, so you have negative 8 plus or minus 6 radical 2 all over 2. And now everything is divisible by 2 on the outside of the radical. So when you simplify that, you're going to get negative 4 plus or minus 3 radical 2 right there. All right, right there, okay. All right, let me clear it off real quick, and we're going to do number 35. All right, so now 35, all Alright, you're gonna have to use quadratic on this one as well. Well, do I? Nope. I want to factor this one by grouping. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this constant and multiply this leading coefficient, times the constant. So 3 times 6 is 6, or 3 times 2 is 6, And then the factors of 6 that I add to give me 7 are going to be, let's see here, -6 and -1. Alright, so we write this right here, we keep this. Alright, minus 6x, add the x because I gotta make 7x. Alright, minus 1x, and then plus 2. Alright, keep that. Alright, so now I have 4 terms. Since I have 4 terms, I can group these things. Alright, now right here, factor out the GCF now. I'm going to take out a 3x. So I'm left with x minus 2. And then right here, I'm going to factor out a -1, and I'm left with x minus 2. Remember, when you factor out a negative, the sign changes. Alright, that becomes positive, that becomes negative. Now, I write my outside term, 3x minus 1, and we have x minus 2. Alright, you know you did this right because those two inside factors are the same. Alright, there we go right there. Alright, equals 0. Anyway, solve it. So you go 3x minus 1 equals 0. I'm going to add 1. And then divide by 3 on both sides. So x equals 1/3. And then over here, x minus 2. Oops. X minus 2 equals 0. And then add 2. There you go right there, okay? Alright, I'm going to erase it right now. Alright, now moving along to number 36. Alright, 36, man. Looking at this, 2 times 4, let's see, 8. Factors of 8. Let me see, 8 and 1. 8 and 1. So let me see. 2x squared plus 8x plus 1x plus 4. If I group it, good night. Alright, there we go. If I group it, alright, take out a 2x, we're left with x plus 4. Alright, and then if you take out a take out a 1, you're left with x plus 4, right? So you have 2x plus 1, and you have x plus 4. So now I set both of those equal to 0. So if I add 1 over, subtract 1, I have 2x equal to -1, and then divide by 2, x equals -1/2. All right, and then right here, x plus 4. So you subtract 4, so x equals -4. So there you go right there. I know the answer key, this is not factorable. Don't know why it says that, but it can be factored. We just did it by grouping, okay? Right there, grouping. All right, now I'm going to delete that. I'm going to erase this, okay? Here we go now. All right, now this one, man, I'm going to factor this one by completing the square just because there's no factors of 3 that can give me 6. So remember, you use b divided by 2 squared like this. So what we do is, well, first of all, I'm going to move this constant. So I have x squared plus 6x plus a space equals -3 plus a space. All right. So now when you have b, all right, 6 divided by 2, that's 3. 3 squared is 9. So plus 9 and plus 9. Now, I factor this. That's going to be x plus 3 squared. If you remember, all you got to do is factor this. To factor this, you just look at this inside portion. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So x plus 3 squared. All right. And over here you have 6. Okay. And then just solve it. All right. And by solving, I'm going to do the square root on both sides. All right. So I have x plus 3 because this cancels, all right, or negates each other. And I have plus or minus square root of 6. All right. Now we're going to subtract 3 on both sides. So x equals -3 plus or minus 6. Square root of 6, excuse me. Okay, there you go right there. Both answers. Over here, we have, let's see here. Again, I'm going to do completing the square. There's no factors of 5 and 1. It'll give me 2. So x squared plus 2x, all right, plus space equals -5 plus a space. All right. Now what we got to do is 2 divided by b divided by 2 squared. So 2 divided by 2 squared, that's 1. 1 squared is 1. So now we have x factor this side, x plus 1 squared equals -4. All right. Now what we gotta do is solve this for x. So square root both sides. So you have x plus 1 equals plus or minus 2i. Remember, that's going to be -1 and 4. So square root of 4 is 2. Square root of -1 is I. Then we're going to do net minus 1. So x equals -1 plus or minus 2i. Alright. Now, let's do one more. Alright, right here. Let's see here. First of all, I'm going to take out the GCF. I'm going to factor out 3. So that's 3 times x squared. Alright, minus, x squared minus 5x. Minus 5x, minus 14. Alright, now what are the factors that multiply to give me this? We have x minus 7 and x plus 2. Alright, so therefore we take those two factors, set them equal to 0 and solve, and x minus 2, so x equals 2. Alright, so there we go. There we go. Alright, well, I'm actually conclude this right here. Alright, I'll pick up on another video. So this is the third video. I'm going to actually start with Unit 2, number 40, okay? Polynomials. So I'll stop right here.